Lesson 9.1. Adding and subtracting polynomials. We are dealing with combining like terms. Combining like terms. And when I start doing some adding and subtracting of the polynomials, we're going to find out what I mean by like terms. All right. Degree of a polynomial. So if I'm asking you for the degree, this is going to be your highest power or your highest exponent. Okay? Degree is your highest power or your highest exponent. If I were to advance it and ever ask you for a leading coefficient, first of all, what's coefficients?
So if it was the 7 on the x.
Okay? Those are coefficients. Coefficient, 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 coefficients. It's the numbers in front of the variables. So whenever you hear me talk coefficient, that's what I mean. So the leading coefficient is the coefficient with the highest power. Okay? It's the coefficient with the highest power. And I don't think this book tells you to do that. I just want you to know it for future reference, so you're getting this vocabulary down. So, if these are my polynomials, what is the degree of this polynomial? What's its highest power? Power. 1. This right here is 1. So my degree is 1. Whenever I'm talking about a degree of 1, a polynomial that has a degree of 1. First of all, these are what we call polynomials. Okay? Back up a little there. So the degree is 1. So if I'm dealing with a name using that degree, a power of 1 would be called linear. You guys are used to that one. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? This one here, what's my degree? What's my highest power? 2. Something to the second power is called a quadratic. That's the one you guys are going to be very familiar with this chapter, are the quadratics. To what power is this one?
3.
To the third power? What do you think that one's going to be called? Starts with a C.
Oh, quadratic. I know what it is.
Something raised to the third power. Raised to the third power. Cubic. Okay. What's this one's power?
4.
This one, they don't have it in the book, but it's called quartic. Okay. Another fancy name. So anything to the fourth power is a quartic. Fifth power is a quintic. When you start getting to the sixth power, you would just say sixth power polynomial, seventh powered polynomial, eighth powered polynomial. Okay? Now, let's talk about our terms. So let's talk about our terms. How many terms does this one have? 2. When you have something with 2 terms, it is called a binomial. Bi meaning 2. How many terms does that one have?
3.
What do you think that one's going to be called?
Trinomial.
Trinomial. You guys are going to become very familiar with quadratic trinomials this whole entire chapter. How many terms does this one have?
1.
What do you think that one's called? Monomial. Okay? Monomial. And how many terms does this one have? 4? There's no fancy name for that quadrinomial. It is a 4th termed poly. Okay? Quadrinomial, whatever he said. All right. So there is how you classify these. So on that very first one, what would this one be called? Linear binomial. What would this one be called? Monomial. And this one is a? Quartic fourth term polynomial. All right. Adding and subtracting these. Combining like terms.
Wait, they're not. Wait, then you actually have to do it.
All right. Combining like terms. Like terms. So think similar. Think like. I've got to combine these two because they are your like terms. They're both x squareds. What is 3 plus 6? 9x squared. Here I have an x. Over here, do I have an x? I have nothing to combine it with. So I would just write down plus 2x. Can I add my constants? You're done. And when I'm talking like terms, do not change those powers. We're not multiplying them. We're liking them. So we do not change their powers. If it's x squared, it's going to stay as x squared. If it was x cubed, it'll stay as x cubed. If it's the number by itself, they're the numbers by themselves. So let's do a subtraction real quick. Let's say I have 2x plus 11 minus x squared plus 3x cubed plus 4x plus 16. Okay, just right off the top of my head. My x cubed, that's the highest power, right? So that's what I'm looking at. I look for my highest powers. X cubed is my highest power. Is there anything for me to combine it with? No. But make sure you're taking that negative all the way through. So this now becomes a what? So we got a negative 3x cubed. And I like writing these in descending powers. What would come next then? The x squared. So negative x squared. I had nothing to combine it with. Now what comes next?
2x.
My x's. What's 2x minus 4x? Negative 2x. And now comes my constants. What's 11 minus 16? Done.
You have to put it over.
Nope, you don't put it over anything. You're just combining your like terms.
So negatives are negatives and positives.
Yep. All right.